Hi, guys. What's going on? What's happening? How we doing? How's everyone's Monday? There we go. Let's get this situated. Let's get this live going. Here we go. View request. What's up, everybody? What's up, pal?
What's up, dude?
How we doing?
Hanging, bro.
Yeah?
Good.
Nothing. In the middle of moving. Having a great time.
Yeah, I hope I'm here to follow you soon.
When's the house going to be done?
Say goodbye. It's close.
Close?
Yeah, like they got landscaping done. I think the sod goes in this week.
Oh.
All the tile work's done. All the cabinets are in. We don't have countertops. And then just like no fixtures. So they got to do wood floors. They got to do fixtures, shit like that.
So like you're about a month out, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think mid-April's legitimate possibility.
Nice.
I think I've just kind of said May 1st. So
Okay, so if you're in there before then it's a good thing. We lost Andy. Service in the trailer park isn't that good, I guess. All right, I can do this. What's up, Kenny? This is a family program, Kenny. No, we don't have Andy yet. Oh, boy. Hey, you're back.
just kicked me out.
Well, you're here now.
That's all that's important.
That is.
You've been watching the World Baseball Classic?
No.
USA, baby.
I just saw what's his name tear his knee up and cost the Mets $50 million.
Acting like a clown. Celebrate like an adult.
Do better.
Do a Derek Jeter fist bump and leave the field. That's it.
That's all you need. That's all you need. That's the captain.
You just don't. You don't need to be jumping around acting like that. It's not Little League.
Wasn't it just like a regular game? Like there wasn't the championship.
They're not participating in the championship.
So
USA beat Cuba yesterday, and then Japan and Mexico are playing right now to play USA. Japan's got a guy throwing who's like 100 to 102, and he's 21 years old. He's like throws 2 miles an hour harder than Ohtani.
Let's get him on the Yankees.
Yeah, no kidding. He's going somewhere. He's going to make a lot of money.
Good.
So
I love when they find those like gems across like all over the world, and
the Japan thing's cool because like they either got to do what Ohtani did, which is leave early and take less money, because it's like the international bonus pool counts after 25. It's wide open. So like if Ohtani would have waited 25, they might have had to pay him $100 million bonus.
Really?
But, yeah. So he's like that they can only pay him. It's
cap.
USA. It's cap. But this guy, he might do the same thing. But if he waits till he's 25, the problem is if he waits till he's 25, he gets hurt or he sucks.
Right.
You never.
He makes nothing. He makes some nuts.
So Ohtani comes over here and he's got a big league.
Right.
He's making big league money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then with his first contract he'll get, I mean, it'll be ridiculous. He'll break the bank.
If you're that good, you should. If that's good, you should be able to.
It's impressive what he does. It's. I mean, we've never seen anything like that before.
It wasn't he like top 5 in strikeouts and top 5 in like batting average, home runs, and RBIs?
I don't know the specifics of it, but
it was something silly.
I mean, he's like borderline Cy Young and then borderline. And
MVP.
The crazy thing is, like, the thing people don't realize is like one of the fastest players in the big leagues running. he'd probably be a really, really good defensive outfielder or first baseman if he played there every day.
Well, he's a big human too. He's not a small
He's like
guy.
6'5", 220.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
He runs like 3.8s to 3.6s to first base, which is like
That's fast.
like Mickey Mantle speed. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Fast.
It's like he's. I mean, it's unbelievable. They were saying on the WBC today that he was hitting balls. John Smoltz says he's never seen people hit baseballs where he's hitting them in BP. He's hitting them like off the scoreboard in center field in batting practice.
Wow.
It's pretty ridiculous how good he is.
No, he really is. But
I mean, I used to do that shit in Little League.
he's doing it against the best in the world.
Yeah, no problem, man.
No big deal. However, this is the State of the Union. You know what episode this is? 20. You guys have been tuning in for the last 19 episodes, so we're not going anywhere. We are proudly sponsored by the
Go Hard Barbell.
Bergen County Barbell and BCB Trading Systems and Wicked Wolf Beer Co. This is the State of the Union, and Andy has our question.
Yeah, so customization of clients' training, how do you handle it? What's your thought process on it? How much do you train? Like, how much different is all of your clients, and when do you begin to make adjustments based on clients' training? How do you do it?
Good question.
Yeah, I like it.
You want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a little bit of it. So it kind of came up in conversation today, and my thought process was, a lot of my clients' training looks similar, similar exercises out of similar exercise pools, and for me, this is kind of my thought process, and I liken it to like a baseball, like a coach baseball. Like, not every person that shows up on my campus the first day, like, I'm not going to just look at you one time and go like, all right, you need this throwing program, and you need this throwing program, and you need this throwing. Like, same thing when you walk in the gym. It's going to be like, okay, we're going to put you in rotation, and I'm going to watch you, and I'm going to pay attention to what you do. And I got clients, and I got all different types of clients. I got clients that, go 4 times a week religiously. I got clients that are like, I need more. And I got clients that have a hard time getting to the gym 4 times a week for any, like, and I'm not, throwing shade or anything like that, because I don't expect for people to be as like committed as I am, because I've built that over 25 years, 30 years of
Right.
being an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And this probably ranks higher on my importance sheet than it does a lot of people. So but my thing is like, when I get people, first it's like showing them how to train. Like, this is the way that you train if you want to be a professional. You need to be in the gym 4 days a week. This is the way that you structure your workouts. This is the way that you structure your, main movements. This is the way that we structure our accessories. This is how long we rest. This is what we're going for. This is what it's supposed to look like. And if a client has a hard time getting to the gym 4 days a week, then they don't need super specific, customized, training programs. My thing is always like the lowest hanging fruit. So if you're only able to get to the gym 3 days a week, that means you're missing something. So, like,
Right.
How do we get you to not miss that thing? Okay, if you only do your main movement and an accessory, or your supplemental exercise, and you don't hit accessories, well, then how do we, like, then it's like, okay, well, let's hammer out like a band circuit when you're done. Like, I'm not trying to crush you. I'm not trying to go like, you got to do, like, I'm trying to go like, what can we do that can make you get through as much or more, and then look to build and grow upon that, as opposed to like, so first off, we're trying to get people in the gym on a program, understanding how to train, understanding how to recover, understanding how to structure their weeks, understanding how to structure their days, understanding how to structure cycles, and then watch them. You know what I mean? Then watch them and watch, like, you watch a guy lift, and like, my thing too is like, okay, anybody that knows anything about training can watch somebody take a free squat and go like, you're loose in the hole. You can pause squat. Great. Like, that's not a wrong
Suggestion.
suggestion. Hey, your hips look weak, or your sequence is screwed up. You know, you might need a box squat, or maybe we need to do a low box squat, or maybe we need a pause pull. Like, that's great. Like, that might be right. But my thing is like, why don't we find out a way to get the desired result without having to add in any exercises, so that we can stay away from adding those exercises in for a couple of years? Like, yeah, you're a little unstable. Well, don't add chains, because chains is the fourth or fifth thing you'd want to add, and you want to use that to get over a hump in 2 or 3 years. You know, I trained 10 years before I ever put chains or a band on the barbell. You know what I mean? It's like saying, like, yeah, you're a little weak. Maybe you should take some testosterone, like, or maybe you should eat 4 meals a day, 6 meals a day, and sleep 8 hours a day, and shut up and train for 8 years. Like, and then add some testosterone if that's what you want, if that's the decision you want to make. Like, anybody can identify something and go like, yeah, like that, what you're saying might work, but there's lower hanging fruit than that for me. And like, if you're a good coach and you're a good lifter and you're in control of your own programming, you want to get as much out of the lowest hanging fruit as you can, because you want to save those more complicated solutions for the future when you've exhausted the options of the low hanging fruit. Like, I try to get a ton, and I'm sorry to my clients, but like, they sled drag and they belt march and they do leg extensions and leg curls and they do face pulls and tricep extensions and they do cable rows and lat pull downs, and like, they do down sets on bench and they use some dumbbell pressing, and like,
Mine do too.
That's what
that's
good lifters do.
That's programming.
That's what good lifters do. And then, like, you know, you get a little further along. Okay, well, now we'll add some good mornings in. You get a little further along, like, okay, now we're not going to do banded hamstring curls. We're going to do inverse curls. You know what I mean? Like, get a little farther along. Okay, now we're going to do, you know, floor pulse dumbbell extensions, or we're going to do straight bar extensions when I feel like your elbows are strong enough to withstand that. You know what I'm saying? Versus, like, some people, I just like just straight bar tricep press downs. Like, your muscle doesn't know the difference. And the more that we can get out of that, you know, the more that we're going to, you know, I might have, you know, for my quad accessory or my direct leg work this week, I did like front foot elevated split squats. Like, that's what I need, but my training age is, you know, 20 years of high level training, being a college and professional athlete. You know, somebody else can just do 3 sets of leg extensions and get the same amount and save that other shit for the future. And that's something that I think that people miss on a lot is they, you know, you hop into a conjugate deal and you want to have like a bow bar with front bands, and then you want to be doing, you know, and that's just not necessary with everybody's training age, and you're doing too much. You know what I mean? Like, if the first time you walk in the gym and you put 100 pounds on your total in the first year, but you're on testosterone and you're taking orals and you're doing all this different stuff, like, you probably would have done all of that without any of that other stuff, and then you've totally dulled the blade of what that actually might do for you in the future if you choose to take it. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I think that people miss on. So, like, for my clients, it's more about like set routine, learning how to follow it, learning how to recover, learning how to go to the gym and do all those things, you know, and then just build off of that, and then build into, you know, okay, well, you know, you're a little bit more advanced in this department, so let's add these. Like, your hamstrings are getting stronger, let's add some inverse curls in, you know, once every 3 cycles, and then kind of see how that feels, type of deal. You know, and I think that's a beneficial thing for, like, I got people who do band good mornings, and then I got people who do good mornings on the belt squat, and then I got people who do regular SSB good mornings for their, you know, and it's the same thing. It's just different levels of that specific exercise pool that I try and pull from. You know, and most people are novices, and most people will just benefit from trying to build muscle on their body and being consistent with that and spending time under the bar and just training. Like, most people don't need crazy stuff.
No.
That's my opinion.
No.
You can run with it.
Agree on most of what you're saying. I do think, obviously, everyone programs, you know, coaches who program are all going to program differently, and they're all going to have different reasons for the ways that they program. And like you said, they're going to have, you know, their exercise pool that they're going to choose from. The way that I handle any lifter is going to be the same initially, in that I'm going to throw them in, and just like you said, I'm going to evaluate. I'm going to look. I'm going to see what they're doing. I'm going to see where the breakdowns are happening. I'm going to see when the breakdowns are happening. And before anything happens in terms of programming, I'm going to fix technique. Right? There's 99.9% of lifters can fix something.
Oh yeah,
I can fix something. Dave can fix something. Everyone can fix something. Okay.
And some of that is like as you get farther along, or once you get past basic stuff, some of that is just going to come from getting a stronger body.
Right. And
that's something that people don't
make
get.
You look pretty, John. Goddamn right.
That's something that I think that people miss on, is they don't grasp the concept of like, just keep squatting, keep doing your back extensions, keep doing your abs, keep learning how to brace it. And like, it's gonna look better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I taught my daughter, my daughter, somebody taught her how to do a cartwheel on her first day of gymnastics, and she just did 100 cartwheels, and the 100th looked better than the first because she just did 100 of them. Like, your 500 squats gonna look better than your third. That's just, I mean, that's part of, intermuscular coordination and shit like that I think that people miss on. They're in a hurry to like walk in the gym and see a newbie and go like, you need to do, like, yeah, no shit, dude. Congratulations. Yeah, that squat doesn't look very good. Just keep squatting, man. Like your body knows how to do it. It'll eventually get to the right spot.
It will. But so that's the first thing that needs to be addressed. And if
lowest hanging fruit. Lowest hanging fruit.
But here's the thing, that's the same for the person who's never competed or never lifted a weight, or the person who's been doing it for 25 years. Yep. Because that person for 25 years probably needs things adjusted as well. Yeah. Right?
We fixed anyone with my deadlift last week. Talked about widening my grip out so that my hips had a chance and I could get my chest up. And I didn't tell you this, but I pulled the other day and I was like, your boy might be about to pull a big PR. Because it's like, for once, as soon as I pulled my chest through, the bar's just like floating, and I'm like, oh. Well,
I
just bring my hips here, and it's
when your hands are a little bit wider, it makes it a little bit easier to load your lats. So once you load your lats harder, the bar pulls off the floor.
Get your chest through. So I'm like the bar's off the ground. I just bring my hips here, and it's over.
That's it.
Sweet.
Exactly.
So it's like, but I mean, like, we've been trying to figure my deadlift out forever, and it's like, so, and that's super low hanging fruit. But I might get no stronger and pull a 30-pound PR. I hope I do.
That's legit. That's what I'm saying. You can have someone not get a percentage stronger, but you can fix something technically, and they're 25 pounds stronger. Right? There you go. I did the same thing. Mike said the same thing. I did the same thing for him last week. I noticed his hands were a little close. So why don't you scoot your hands out a little bit? And it was night and day. Right? Because
you better pull something this weekend, Mikey.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
So that's always going to be first and foremost is addressing technique, because everyone needs it. Second thing is based on watching, right, and having an eye, a coach's eye, I can see, and I'm sure, and I'm not saying I'm the only one, other coaches obviously can too, but I can see where things are breaking down and what's weak. So if you're not able to push back in the beginning of a squat, right, that's probably weak glutes, weak hamstrings, weak core.
Yeah,
right?
Nothing to push into.
Yeah. You got nothing to push into. If your knees are collapsing on the way down, or you're shifting your body weight forward, your hips aren't strong enough to stay open, your hamstrings aren't strong enough to put you in the right position. All right. If you're collapsing out of the hole, your hips are shooting up out of the hole, when you're squatting, that you lost your lats. Right. So all of those things are going to come. Good coaches are going to be able to see those things. So if you're seeing those technical breakdowns, then you're able to see a weakness. All right. That's great. You need to identify the weakness first. However, I don't think there's anyone in the world who can't use stronger hips, stronger glutes,
well, that's
stronger
the point.
lats, stronger upper back.
If you're worth a shit as a coach, what you're identifying, you better already be doing anyways.
So right, exactly. So that was going to be
nothing but hamstring work. Like,
that was going to be my next point, where I don't necessarily grade accessory movements or exercises in terms of novice, intermediate, elite, right? So if new person comes to the gym, they have weak hamstrings, we want to hit it a little bit harder than hamstring curls. Yeah, I may have that person inverse curl, right? But I'll give them a super, super strong band, right? I'll give them a large. Why? Because I want them to learn that movement, because in my opinion, an inverse curl is a much more beneficial movement than a hamstring curl, right?
Oh, yeah.
So even if they're going to use a stronger band to make it easier, I'd rather them work with or implement the more difficult exercises with a little bit of a modification.
Yeah.
Then just say, here, go leg curl, go leg extension, go do.
Well, yeah, I mean, once they get to a certain point,
right.
I'm always going to have, like, the inverse curls in there, like, every 2 out of every 3 cycles, it's in on one of my days.
Yeah.
So I'm always doing inverse curls. Like, I'm always doing either inverse curl or glute hammers. One of those will always be in there, because I think it's that important. But yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, but you've got to give people time to acclimate themselves to training,
100%.
and then you've got to and then sometimes like the days I walk out of the gym when my hamstrings are the most sore, since we're talking about hamstrings, are the days I did 5 sets of 50 band leg curls with a green band the other day hooked around the deadlift platform, and I did 5 sets in 4 minutes, and that was my hamstring work, and like my hamstrings were killing me.
Toasted.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that it was the best work, but it was a different kind of work. It was a different kind of stimulus. And then now, the next wave, it'll be something heavier, and then I'll probably do higher rep back extensions instead of lower rep reverse hypers.
Right.
Because you're attacking stuff at different angles.
Different angles, different rep ranges, different loads.
That's the part of training. Like, it's all going to make you stronger if you're progressing in it.
That was gonna be my next piece of it, was with your exercise selection, right? Yes, it matters in a way, right? But as long as there is some kind of progression from week to week, then your athletes are going to be making strides in the right direction, right? If you just turn around and always program 3 sets of 15, leg curls, then eventually, yeah, a leg curl's great and all, but eventually, if there's no progression, you're eventually gonna. It's not gonna do what you want it to be doing.
You want to get people to a point to where the leg curl is not something that they can do all the time. Like, you want to get that's like something we add in. Like, okay, for this 3-week wave, we're gonna get a ton of reps on lying leg curl, but
we RDL'd beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the other part of the deal too that I try and explain to people is like you that's a safer exercise to get a ton of volume in.
Right.
So like it can be hard exercise. So it just depends on where you're at in the training cycle and what you're trying to do.
Of course.
And it might be like, okay, so for this specific, like, for an example, if I was going to do leg curls, for me personally, I would be doing because I always do something on the belt squat, I would be doing like belt squat GMs or hip thrusts where I'm pushing back into my glutes, and I'm going to get a ton of heavy volume, and I'm going to walk off that like with my low back cooked and my hamstrings cooked. So then I go do 3 or 4 sets of lying leg curls, and I'm done. And then I go do my reverse hypers, I get some extra hamstring work in, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, let's go.
Exactly.
We're good. So like but that's me, who's got a pretty, I by no stretch of the imagination am a world-class lifter, but like I am a world-class trainer. Like, I do train my ass off. Like, that. Like the volume that I do is insane. So like, what I've had to put myself through to get where I'm at, and is more than the average person puts themselves through. So like, I structure my training different than other people, but I try to get my clients to get more with less. And that's something. And one thing that I was going to touch on, and this was part of the conversation I told people, is like, like I say, I'll also like watch somebody lift and go like, okay, your core's weak. So every time you come in, I want you to activate this. I want you to do 3 sets of moderate weight side bends. I want you to do some good girl, bad girl, couple sets, nothing crazy, but just get some work in. And then when you're done, I want you to do planks or farmer's walks. And then I'll just shut up and watch and see how many times they do it. And like,
because here's the thing, because you can write whatever you want. You can program it. It can be the best written out, best planned week, best planned cycle, best planned prep. If they clients, team members, don't take what you're saying and implement that, then it's no longer on you.
No, and it's our job to give them something on their plate that they can eat and finish.
Right.
And like, not everybody, like a lot of these people that I coach, they want to go in the gym. They want to squat all those Sundays. Takes an hour for us to get through squats. And then they want 25 minutes worth of accessory exercise and a handshake. And that's cool. Like, we can work with that. You know what I mean? They want to come in on bench night, bench for 45 minutes, and they want to do 35 minutes worth of accessory work, and they want a piece. I want to go see my kids. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's our job to get them ready for like what, to give them a chance to prepare them for what they can do in the future.
Right.
But that's going to take time to get them to that point. And you and I, like, you weren't always there. Like, you probably did West Side for Skinny Bastard. You're in the gym 3 days a week. You know what I mean? And you did this, that, and the other, and you squatted, and every time, the 3-4 times that you and I have actually trained in the same gym together, you've gotten done with accessories and been like, I'm going to the Mexican restaurant. I'll see you in 15 minutes. And I'm like, I want to go do some accessories. I'll be there.
Yeah.
But like,
when we were in Ohio, I was done 25 minutes before you weighed in. Like, come on.
12:05, we're good.
Yeah, see ya.
12. But my point though is like, and then you're going to have people who get totally bored with the same stuff every week. So like, you got to move stuff around for those people. You have to.
But what I will say with all of that is I keep things pretty standard because the things that I'm putting in are going to help everyone.
Yeah, they're yeah.
You know what I mean? So we squatted on Sunday. Yesterday we squatted. We had new kid Jeff, super strong. He's actually a USAPL lifter, right? But guess what? It works too. Chrissy and Rob, right? Everyone's squatting, but everyone's at a different point in their year, right? So they're all going to squat together because we're a team, but everyone's not doing the same exact thing, right? Rob's just started a prep. He's in the middle of a Circumax. So he took something like 450 pounds of band tension. He took an average and 2 lights. So 400 pounds of band tension on each side. Somewhere around there, 354, whatever. Christy took a little bit less band tension, 1, because she squats a little bit less, and 2, she's in her off season. And Jeff is not into his meet prep yet, so he took the same amount as Christy because their squats are roughly the same. He's a raw squatter, she's a gear lifter, right? So everyone's doing the same, everyone's following the same plan. What is tailored
off all the time. Yeah.
What is tailored for us is the AR, right? So if we're taking a Buffalo bar versus bands, everyone's taking a Buffalo bar versus bands. If their squat is up to par and they are with the group. If not, they're going to be off on the side. I'm going to be working with them a little bit closer. And my goal is to have everyone in the group. Is to have a 10-person rotation and everyone's in the group, but that's not how it always works.
Nope.
So you got some people in one rack, you got some people in another mono, you got people in the big mono. Everyone's working.
Yeah, you're going to deadlift, or we switch our days around.
Yeah, and it's going to be tailored to that person. Where
like I got an old guy, an older guy. I should say, Dave, I love you. And it's like he can't free squat. he is like, I mean, his free squat goes up when we box squat, but he free squats very infrequently because it wrecks him. So it's like yesterday, the group, they did safety bar squat, free squat. Like I wanted to test, I want to see where everybody was at. He just did safety bar squat to a box, no problem. Like slide the box in, slide the box out. Like I got
Robinson.
some people to do tempos. So, I got some people to do, like, you're going to do tempo safety bar squats as a max effort. You're going to do this person's going to do pause, and this person's going to do, a free, so that's, I mean, it just, like I said, but they're using the same bar. They're doing the same thing.
They're doing the same thing, but it's tailored to where they are in their prep, or where they are in their training, where they are in their strength levels, and where they are in, like you said, in their training age. But everyone's going to benefit from Buffalo bar versus bands to a box.
100%.
And no one's gonna give me enough information for me to feel otherwise.
That's right.
So unless you're 4 weeks out and you're taking a straight bar, or I don't feel you're ready to be box squatting with a Buffalo bar with AR.
So just the AR. More so
the AR, right? Yeah. But I've had people who've never squatted not once in their life come in on a squat day, and it's like, well, all right, well, you're not going with the group. I'm going to need to work with that person a little bit closer and make sure that they can box squat their body weight before we throw a Buffalo bar on their back versus 100 pounds of bands. Like, we're just not going to do that. But everyone can benefit from that. Everyone can benefit from inverse curls, from reverse hypers, from weighted glute hams, from back raises, from McGill's, from croc rows, from chest supported rows. Those are movements that should be implemented in everyone's training.
Yeah,
I do them.
You're not too good to do the basics.
No one
I'm
is.
not. You're not. Hoff's not. I mean, I'm not in your category, but nobody's too good to do the basics.
I guarantee you that if Dave came on and Dave told us what he did with his training, it would look very similar to you and I.
Yeah.
Because
structures his west side a little bit differently than I do and that you do, but yeah.
But I'm talking more about accessory movements.
Yeah.
Accessory movements are to make you stronger, right? So
yeah, and the thing that's important is with that is just the effort that you put in.
Well, that was going to be the last thing that I touched upon. Is that, and someone I forgot who said it, but someone said it. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. I can tell you how hard to push something, right? But it's your choice whether you're one going to listen and two actually follow through and do it, right?
Yeah, I tell people to train with me all the time, and it's like the pace that I do and the intensity that I do, and then like very rarely are they like, holy shit, the weight, because I don't go crazy. Like if I'm barbell rowing, I'm using 245, 265, but I'm like, when you put the bar down, I got the bar back in my hands. I'm switching grips, like
I'm superset. When I train, I superset everything. Anyone that's ever trained with me knows that I'll in 45 minutes, I'll hit 35 sets.
Yeah.
Of total. Just because I'm going to do one thing, I'm going to triple set. I'm going to do a quad. Whatever. I'm going to get the most amount of work in to achieve the goal of the day as possible. So if the goal of the day is we're benching, okay, we benched heavy, now we need to get our triceps stronger, and then we need to get blood flow in everywhere. All right, so then we're going to bench, then we're going to do some safety bar JMs, and then once the safety bar JMs are over, it's almost like a race to see how many sets we can get in within a certain amount of time, at least for me. Right?
Yeah. That's a little bit more like how I do my speed day, because I'm not as physically strong as you. So like my speed days, it's like it's just like bam, 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 bam. My heavier days is going to be faster, but like more like, like yesterday I did 3 sets of belt squats paused, then right into 3 sets of front foot elevated split squats, and then inverse curls for 3 sets, reverse hypers for 3 sets, abs for 4 sets, and then I did my finisher. And I basically walked around the building with a safety bar on my back with 185 on there, like a couple times. And that was terrible. So it's like, but my speed lower day is like, I set the bar down for after my deadlift, I do a set of good mornings. I strip the bar. I do another set of good mornings. I strip the bar. I do another set of good mornings. Then I walk over and I do set of reverse hypers, go do abs, set of reverse hypers, do abs, set of reverse hypers, do abs, lay down, do 3 sets of hamstring curls or 5 sets of hamstring curls with 20 seconds rest, get up, and then march on the belt squat for 5 minutes. And I'm like, when I get off the belt squat, I can't walk.
You're toasted.
I somehow in there I mix in neck work and grip work. So like, you know what I mean? So it's like boom,
the amount of volume you do is crazy, but also you know in your head if you're like, I need to push this a little bit heavier, what that means.
Yeah.
But you're also going to actually push it a little bit heavier. Yeah. Right? So if I know, right, and I don't even know if she's on, but I know if I tell Chrissy that after we squatted, I need you to do 100 sets of sled drag. She'll do it. Yeah. I would never tell her to do that, but she would do it, and it would be to the highest level or to whatever art. Exactly.
Integrity.
Integrity. But there's other people on the team where
check the box. Yeah, I did the sled drag.
I did it. I did sled drag. Oh no, I did my McGills. Oh yeah, I forgot planks. Oh, I forgot my grip work. Oh, I didn't do any of my band work. All right. No, it's written. If you choose to not do it, that's on you, guy.
Oh, I tell people all the time, they'll get frustrated, and I'll just be like, "Who are you mad at?"
Who are you mad at? Exactly. We had a kid. He was a kid. He started training with me when he was like 20, 21. Now he's like 20, 25, 26, and he's actually those first couple years was he's gonna push his main movement, and then he's gonna bullshit his accessories. And what happened? Numbers did this.
Yeah,
very slow. They'll get better, but there was a lot of that. As soon as he started actually pushing his accessory work to the level in which I want it done, right?
Professional.
Professionally done, meaning that your accessory work in
it
theory
is more important than your main work.
It should also be harder. I wasn't mistaken when I said that.
No, 100%.
Your accessory work should be harder than your main movement.
Done harder, done faster.
Done harder. You should be. The only set maybe is your top set. Maybe.
Yeah, but your top set takes 4 seconds.
I'm saying in terms of like how you feel afterwards.
You're a little scared.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you should be absolutely gassed by the time you're done with your accessory work. And if you're not, unfortunately, the only person to blame is yourself. Right. Because if it was written, it's written for a reason. Whether I'm your coach, Andy's your coach, or someone else is your coach, someone wrote it for a reason. So if you're going to choose to not push it in the way that one, it was prescribed, or two in your head, you should be pushing it, then it's on you. And all of those things, I think, are what make a good program. But if you kind of zoom out and you really look in, it all boils down to the lifter.
Yeah, adherence, compliance. But this brings us back full circle, right? Because what it talks about is like initially I'm like the first thing I look for is like how to teach a lifter how to train.
Right.
And how to train is to eat the shit that's on your plate. Eat it. Like, this is what's on my plate. Let me knock this out today. And then let me recover and do it again on Tuesday. And then on Thursday. And then on Saturday. And then show back up Sunday to squat again. And it's like you start learning how to do that, and then you start adding more to the plate, and then that's when the lifter starts making jumps.
Right.
But if the lifter's just doing like, yeah, I did some accessories, or yeah, I did this, let me check this box, like, that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. And like, I'm not hating on you because this is a hobby sport, man. Like, and you should, but like what I'm saying to you is like, as a coach, you need to be meeting lifters where they're at. Right. And when they need more, you need to either be there to give them more, or you need to explain to them that they don't need more. Because I have a client, he's one of my favorite people, and he's always like, yeah, I'm doing extra. And I'm like, you don't need to do extra. You need to do the shit that you're supposed to do harder.
The fuck you are. Because if you're doing extra, you're not doing what I tell you to do at the way that I want it done.
Exactly right. I'm like, just do what's on your sheet harder. Manage your rest periods more strict. Put more weight on the bar. Slow down. Speed up. Like what, do it harder. Like, because those people, like I put them with me and I'm like, how long take you to do your speed lower? And he's like, well, it took me about an hour and 45 minutes. I was like, well, sweet. I squatted more than you, twice as much as you squatted with twice as much AR. And I pulled twice as much as you did. And I did more volume. And I did a good mornings when you didn't even do good mornings. And I was done in 58 minutes. Like,
right.
Like, so like, I'm not saying, like, I'm giving you something that you can digest in an hour, get it done in an hour. Like, train hard.
Yeah, I don't want it done. I don't want it done in an hour and 45 minutes because
we need to do what you're supposed to do harder. And I give them ranges. I give all my people like 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 sets, 3 to 5 sets. The only thing that's capped is the main stuff.
Yeah.
Do it hard.
No, I tell them, and there'll be times where I'll say, I want this done 4 working sets of 12. Meaning your first set doesn't fucking count because it's too light.
If it's too light. Yeah.
Right. Or I'll say, I just want 4 sets of 12.
Yeah.
Different depending on the time, the programming,
sure,
who we're talking about. So all of those things are playing into it and all go into programming, but it all comes back to accountability.
Yeah. And that's the first thing. It's just like teaching people how to train. That's like goes back to what I was like, learn how to train and then do it for a year.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand that like a year is nothing in this game. A year is nothing. Like I still like. Do you realize that you broke the 242 record 2 years ago? It feels like 6 weeks ago.
Right.
Feels like we were eating tuna nachos 6 weeks ago.
I lost you.
You're still there.
Got a little excited.
Yeah, and it's like that was 2 years ago.
Right.
I mean, imagine like it's a lifetime ago, but it's like that was no time training.
I haven't trained upper body since before Christmas. It's been 3 months.
I know, and it's not that big of a deal.
Nope.
You'll be
not
fine.
Even a little bit. Be totally fine.
People don't understand that. Like
no,
and that's what I keep telling people is they're like, what's gonna, like, when are you gonna squat a grand? When are you gonna squat? That's exactly right. When are you gonna squat a grand? I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Like, but my deal's like, I've told myself for 5 years, like, I gotta stay healthy till I'm 43 to 45 because that's when I'm gonna have the best chance to put up the biggest total. That's 5 to 7 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, I got 5 to 7 more years of getting after it, I think, before it's time for me to, I'm gonna lose some body weight. And, I might still compete. I might bench. I'll probably just train and coach. And I'll still be in the sport. I'll be in the sport till I die. But like, so I'm like, it's a little bit easier to look at. Like, yeah, I'm gonna squat 1050 or close to maybe between 1050 and 11. That'd be great. And like, hopefully bench around 7 and hopefully pull an 8s. And like, if I can do that all in one meet, then I'll total in the 25s. And I'm giving myself time to do that. Right. You know what I mean? Not like, holy shit, I've got to do this in 18 months. Like, it's not even close to it, man.
It's like, not it. And here's the thing. It's not going to happen. I don't know.
No, it doesn't work like that.
I don't know who lied to you and said that it's doable, it's possible, impossible is nothing. That's not how it works, guys. You're not going to just start and be Dave. Because
Dave was like good for 8 years. Then he was second fiddle, and now he's the man. Right. It's like you were like, oh my God, this guy's going to be really good. And you were going to be really good for a long time until you got really good, and now you're one of the best. You know what I mean? And it's like, I remember when you were like the phenom, but it was still like, you were still like going 875, 600, 775. You know what I mean? And then it was like 950, 650, 800. Right. And then it was, 1,000 sometimes, sometimes I bench, sometimes I leave. Well, but it's like there's seasons of this shit where you went from being like top 20 in the world to top 10 in the world to regularly top 5 in the world to now you're one of the best 2 in the world regardless of the weight class. But like people people thought you were always at the top, and that's just not the way that it works. It's like, and even with you, who's got supreme genetic, I mean, even with Hoff's, like Hoff was like, yeah, he was really good, but he's still behind like those. You're still behind the Donnies and the the Rantanens and like all those guys that were like top level lifters until Hoff, like, and he was still one of the best of all time. Right. And then like then 2012, 2000 or 2010, 2011, he started ripping off all-time world record. And here's the other thing, he got there slow, and that's why he's been there for 10 years. Like that's why he's been the man for 10 years, because he didn't hit the speed, he didn't hit the nitrous button to get to a 1,200-pound squat. He just worked the system, and then it was sustained. And he talks about conquering numbers. Like, I didn't borrow numbers. I didn't rent numbers. I owned those numbers. And then he owned them and owned them and owned them and owned them to the point to where, like, your boy has a bad day and goes like, yeah, I didn't have a very good day. I went 12:34, 975, 800. Like, no problem. I just beat everybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bad day. Like, you hope to catch him slipping on a bad day, and then you have a really good day, and then you beat him. Like, that's what you hope. You know what I mean? Right. But that's because he's paid the price for 10 years to get here, for 15, 20 years, behind the scenes, doing his accessory work, building this base that he's had, and that's how you have sustained success at the top versus just like borrowing and renting your way to the top.
There's very few people who have been in a prolonged for a long period of time, top 2, top 3, top 5. There's not very many. There's not very many of us. There's not very many of us.
You, Ed Cohn, Larry Pacifico,
Dave.
You know, Chuck, Dave, like on the raw side, Dan, John Hack, but we're talking about, Donnie, you're talking about those guys, but then it's like Panora, like, yeah, he was really good raw in gear, but like he wasn't at the top of gear forever, and he wasn't at the top of raw forever. He was there.
Right. And that's not taking that's not taking anything away from those people, right? But there is a big difference, and maybe this gets a little people butthurt, but there's a big difference putting up a big total once or twice for 1 or 2 years than doing it for 15 years, meet after meet after meet, year after year after year. There's a big difference, guys. And what you should be doing is you should be looking at those people who have done it and say, okay, what do they do? What is the thing that separates those people from, not from everyone else, because those people are already separate, but those people who have been at a high level, number 1, number 2, top 5, top 3 for 10 years, compared to the guys and girls, guys and girls too.
What's up, Manny?
What up? That were only there for 3 meets.
Yeah, Laura. We didn't even say Laura. She's the goat of all goats. So.
Right.
You're 100% right. Like, what sets them apart from the average person at that level? It's like, it's the training.
It's the training.
It's the training.
It's the training. It's the training one, but it's how the training is approached.
Yep. Brian Carroll. We didn't talk about him.
Brian
great.
was at at the top of sport for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
Up until very recently.
Yeah.
15 years.
Exactly. So what are all of those people over here? What are we doing versus the I call them flash in the pan. What you got the flash in the pans. You got the people that have been top 3 for 10 years. I'd rather listen to the latter. I'd rather be
and no disrespect, man, because it's hard to put up a big total. So if you put up a big total, you earned it. Like, we're not trying to say.
I'm not taking that away.
We're talking about just like what I.
There's the difference.
Be able to do.
There's the difference.
Like, I had a bad meet in December, in my opinion, and I had 30-pound total PR. Like, I totaled something in December that I could have never totaled 2 years before on my best day, and it was a bad day.
Right.
So it's like if your bad days are still PRs, then your training is good because you're not always going to have good days because this sport's really hard and there's a lot of variables in place.
I went 28.65 in July, and I went 4 for 9.
That's my point. Yeah.
I went 28.70 in September, and I went 4 for 9.
Yeah, I had a 40-pound well, I went 5 for 9. I went 5 for 9 and I had a 20-pound total PR. And you know what pissed me off?
You're right, 5 for 9.
I told Leah this the other day. If I just would have known this and taken a third deadlift, I'd have got a WPO invite. Because it was there. I just didn't take it because I didn't want to get hurt.
Right.
I had the psoas going. I just wanted to make sure I PR total. But if I just would have taken 720, I got a WPO. My gloss burner is like 3 points below the lowest person that got an invite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's right. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, fuck them. You don't want to invite anyway.
I want an invite.
I know you wanted to invite.
I got something going. We'll total 23, or hopefully above 2250, and then it'll be a done. That'll be a 550 gloss burner.
There we go. There it is.
We went over. We said we were gonna hard deadline at 8 o'clock.
Well, I know we went over. Whatever. It happens. All right, boys and girls. We will be back next week at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of the State of the Union. But this episode, sponsored by Bergen County Barbell, BCB Training Systems, the Go Hard Barbell, Wicked Wolf Beard Co.
We'll catch you guys later.
We'll see everyone next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Love you, Pally.
Bye, guys. Love you, bud.
Love you, bud.